Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. In this video, I decided to do something a little bit fun, a little bit different, and that is I'm going to be answering all of Google's most burning questions and your most burning questions about War Thunder. And the reason why I'm doing this video, the way I kind of came up with this idea was that I was looking up the minimum specs for War Thunder for a future video, and then I saw a bunch of these questions people also ask, and I thought to myself, are these really being answered well? So I kind of want to do something fun here. I want to answer it to the best of my ability. I've been playing this game for the majority of the time that it's been out, since November 1st, 2012. I've been playing probably since 2013, I believe. So I've been playing for quite a while. So I think I have a pretty decent handle on these questions. So I'm just going to be answering the biggest questions here. I'm going to go through a list, and of course, it just continuously creates questions, so I'm not going to be answering a million of them, but I'll do the best that I can, and I'll try to make it a little bit fun. So as I said, please like, comment, subscribe. You guys know the dealio. Would really appreciate it, but either way, let's get into it. And first and foremost, the biggest question is War Thunder really free? Yes. I mean, it's free to play. You do not necessarily have to put money into it. My experience, you will have a great time putting money into it, if that makes any sense, and you'll probably end up having to put money into it, whether it's for premium account, premium tanks, planes, whatever. You're probably going to end up doing that. In my opinion, the premium account for War Thunder is probably more worth it than almost any other premium account for any other game, just in terms of how much money you put in and what you get out of it. I personally really like it, but at its heart, yes, War Thunder is truly free to play. Second, is War Thunder still good? In my opinion, yes. I really don't think it was really all too bad at any one point, and I don't think it's gotten worse. One could argue that at one point, when ghost shells were extremely prevalent in ground matches, that War Thunder was not all that great, but that's no longer too much of an issue. Of course, there are glitches and things of that nature. It's going to happen with any multiplayer game, and people are always going to be salty that they shouldn't have died, or they shouldn't have done this, that, or the other thing. It's the game's fault. You guys know the deal. But yes, I think War Thunder is still good. It's still an excellent game, and really one of the only games, actually it's probably the only game like it ever made. So definitely check it out. If you're asking this question, I would definitely recommend War Thunder. Third, is War Thunder still played? Well, as of last night, I checked online. I think there were over 150,000 people online, so yes, War Thunder is still played. Actually, one thing that you might want to do is look up the Steam charge for that. It's really interesting. You can typically see around, I think, 40 or 50,000 people on via the Steam login, so it's pretty darn interesting. Is War Thunder a Russian game? Yes. So Gaijin they are a Russian company, but they have headquarters all throughout Europe. So it's not just Russia. Of course, they are technically a Russian game, but it is not necessarily just purely Russian, and really you can see it in the game. However, a lot of people will argue that there's a lot of Russian bias, so you know the deal. Okay, can you play War Thunder offline? No. So currently there are no offline programs or no offline modes for War Thunder. You have to log in to be able to play, and in order to log in, you have to go online. Even with historical campaigns that are single player, there are single player missions. However, again, you cannot play offline. What is the War Thunder age rating? As far as I know, it's, well, there you go. It's PEGI 12. So if you're 12 and older, feel free to play War Thunder. I would recommend it for people who are older. Maybe that's just me being a little bit selfish here, being that I don't really want to play with kids in the game, but hey, you know what, man? If you are 12 or older, I guess this game is fine to play with you. Now, is War Thunder good 2021? As I just said, yes, I don't think War Thunder has gotten worse. I think in many ways it's gotten more complicated. I personally feel it's gotten better, but with the adding of all the elements that we've seen, especially throughout the year since 2012, really it's gone from, hey, just shoot down this or that plane, you know, oh, I'm in a BF-109, there's a Spitfire, I'm going to shoot that down, to, oh, wow, I've got an artillery piece going around with a band cannon wagon, for example, or whatever it is, for the Swedish tech tree, and now that can just shoot a King Tiger tank, you know? So it's a totally different game than it was almost 8 years ago. I mean, it's the same premise, but very, very different. It's not just, you know, T-32 versus a King Tiger, or an M4 Sherman Firefly versus a Tiger 1 or a Panther. It's so many different tanks and so many different ways to play that it's still really good. It's just quite a bit more complicated. Is World of Tanks or War Thunder better? I actually have a video I released, a really popular video. It's got over 100,000 views. You might want to check it out. Link below. War Thunder, as far as I know, is going to be quite a bit more popular than World of Tanks. World of Tanks doesn't really get too many players anymore, especially if you look at the Steam count. However, World of Tank Blitz, which is a separate game from World of Tanks, is very, very popular. Still not as popular as War Thunder. War Thunder has the overall sort of gameplay, so you can play air, ground, and naval in War Thunder, whereas World of Tanks is just tanks, and you have to download World of Warships to play warships, World of Warplanes to play warplanes. So War Thunder is the all-encompassing, so it is more popular, and in my opinion, it's a better game, but of course, it's not to discount World of Tanks, which has many of its own virtues, and in my opinion, can be very good for the very, very casual player. Okay, how do you make War Thunder fun? Well, just play it. You know, get better at it. There's no one, I don't know of anyone who's ever had a good time being bad at something. Just play the game. That's my opinion. If you really want to make War Thunder fun, find the play styles that work best for you. If you're having a tough time dealing with Russian heavy tanks, hey, maybe go play a light tank. You know, if you don't really like the T-34, everyone's telling you that the T-34s are amazing, go play the M4 Sherman, you know. Just don't really subscribe to what everybody else says. Make up your own playstyle. There are still plenty of playstyles out there, I'm sure. Still plenty of different ways to play the game that really haven't been discovered yet or are not widely adopted. For all you know, that could be a playstyle that you really enjoy. I mean, heck, you don't like close air support. I never liked close air support until I found out about the ME262 A1U4, the narwhal, so to speak. I love cannon close air support now because of it. So just find out whatever you'd like, and that's how you make the game fun. How much money does Gaijin make? Oh, wow. No. That's gotta... That's gotta be way too low. They're making way more money than $3 million a year. I cannot imagine that they're just functioning on $3 million per year. My best estimation is that they're making a buttload of money. So $3 million a year is a little bit of a, that's a little low in my opinion. Is War Thunder pay to win? Some people will say it is. At its heart, it's not. Premium tanks do not offer a benefit over regular tanks. Premium planes, premium ships, they do not offer a benefit except that they help you to grind. So War Thunder is in many ways a pay to grind easier game, but it's not necessarily pay to win. The only way that one could consider it to be pay to win is that you can technically unlock you will unlock modules more quickly in your vehicles. So you will be able to, on occasion, if a vehicle has better ammunition, you'll be able to unlock that ammunition more easily with premium account, which costs money. Typically costs money. Of course, you can earn that in-game without paying money, if I'm not mistaken, or at least you used to be able to with Golden Eagles wagers. And if you can get that ammunition, for example, top tier tanks, you can get yourself the best APF SDS, and the other person on your enemy team is using Heat FS, you're going to beat that person 9 times out of 10. So in that regard, one could argue it's pay to win, but really, technically, I would just say it's pay to grind easier. And I do have a video about that, and I'll try to link that below. Is War Thunder free on Steam? Yes. Yes. I guess it is 12 years old friendly. However, I would disagree with this. 12-year-old players do not usually have the required skill to at least play the game well. In my experience, little kids are not that great at this game. This is definitely more of a mature game. Really, I would recommend the minimum age for at least people to be good at this game to be high schoolers or higher, definitely. So let's just kind of skip some of these because now it's kind of getting a little bit diluted. So are there artillery tanks in War Thunder? Yes. Like I mentioned, the Bandkennenwagen, there are some German tanks, if I'm not mistaken. I think that there's a Russian artillery tank now. Now, these do not function like artillery tanks. They function in a direct fire role. So they function pretty much identically to a regular tank. There is no fire arc outside of a regular direct fire arc, so to speak. You're not shooting over buildings to hit enemies. Really, all that you're doing is you're shooting them dead on with artillery tanks. It is what it is, but War Thunder does not, at least yet, have the functionality to have a regular, I guess, artillery where you can shoot across the map. Is War Thunder more grindy than World of Tanks? Some would argue yes. I think by virtue of having like, what, 2,000 plus tanks and just vehicles in game, yes, it is more grindy because there's way more to grind. But in my opinion, on a tier-to-tier basis, on a tank-to-tank basis, I'd say World of Tanks is probably quite a bit more grindy. Because, I mean, like, if you want to go from one tank tree, like rank 7 to rank 8, for example, in World of Tanks, it's going to take more than it would be to get 2 tanks in rank 7 or not rank 7, like tier 5 or tier 6 even in War Thunder. And in my opinion, quite a bit less enjoyable. Are American tanks good in War Thunder? Yes, I would say so. They are pretty darn good. In my opinion, they're probably about my favorite tanks. They're very, very well balanced for the most part. Not great armor until you get into the heavier tanks, but or the higher tier tanks like the Abrams, but still pretty darn good. Was War Thunder on Android? No. Katyusha in War Thunder? Kind of. I think it's like the BM12, if I'm not mistaken. BM13N? Yes, but it's not it's a direct fire thing. So that said, I guess there are some other questions here I'll just kind of jump into. Can a 12-year-old play War Thunder? Yes, but no, you shouldn't. Can War Thunder run on a laptop? Yes, but you need a minimum of a graphics card. I have like an MX 230 on a laptop, and I could hardly play on low graphics with that. So you want to get something that is a decent enough graphics card. I would recommend a minimum of a GTX 1550, but it is what it is. Can War Thunder run on 4 gigabytes of RAM? Yes, it can. As you can see here, system requirements, 4 gigabytes of RAM. You get that, you should be good. And finally, how can you subscribe to Tankenstein on War Thunder? Good question. Just click on that subscription button, press the notification bell, and also like this video, comment. You guys know the dealio. I just came up with that one out of nowhere, so definitely just like, comment, subscribe. You guys know the deal. I'm not going to really be doing this type of video very often, but I thought it was kind of fun. Let me know what you guys think again in the comments below. I want to hear your opinion on this type of video. I don't think anyone's done it before, so just let me know. Either way, this is Tankenstein signing out for the night. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the other side. Take care, everyone.